Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I'll be doing a prediction for Europa League Round of 32. So without any further ado, let's get to our prediction because I got a lot of matches to predict. So yeah, Real Sociedad versus Manchester United. If you ask me about this game 1 month earlier, I might say Real Sociedad have a chance or it's going to be a close one. But if you ask me now, I think maybe Manchester United will be a little bit too good. But then if you look at Manchester United form line recently, they did drop off a lot of points. And if you look at the last 6 games, they lost once. They drew 3 times and won twice. So it is kind of a concerning sign. So I do think this is going to be a really great game to watch. So coming into Real Sociedad game, I think Real Sociedad will be eager to get this win. And I think Real Sociedad might just destroy Manchester United unbeaten streak in away record. But then I still have a feeling that maybe Manchester United will be eager to extend their away winning unbeaten streaks. So therefore it's going to be a close one. And I've gone for a draw. I've gone for Real Sociedad versus Manchester United. It's a really, really close call. I don't know who to pick, but I think Manchester United will be eager to extend their unbeaten away record. So therefore, I've gone with Real Sociedad 1, Manchester United 1. But it can go either way. I'm not sure am I going to pronounce this team name right. Wolfsberger versus Tottenham. This is going to be an interesting game because Wolfsberger, they're not performing that well in their league. And on the other hand, for Tottenham, they did start off their Premier League really, really well, but then recently they did lose a lot of points. And if you look at their last 6 games, they only won once. So it is a really, really concerning situation. And I think Wolfsberger will be looking at this and saying, right, we have a chance. We can actually do something. So from a prediction, I do think it's going to be a close one. But I think Wolfsberger might be just a little bit lack of class. But then if they do play some decent football, if they defend well and if they take their chances, Wolfsberger can actually create an upset over here. But then, to me, I think Tottenham will be a little bit too strong at the end of the day. So I'm going to go for Tottenham 1, Wolfsberger 0. Olympiacos versus PSV. This is going to be another brilliant game to watch. And I'm not going to say both of these teams are not big clubs because they're actually good teams and we've been seeing them in Europa League or Champions League very often for the past few years. For Olympiacos, I think they've been performing well, but then they lost a game this weekend. So it is kind of a question mark, but they're still performing well. And then I just saw their defeat this weekend was their first defeat for this season. So I do think this team is coming off some strong form line, and maybe they did rest their big players on that game. That's why they lost. For PSV, they're in Netherlands League and they've been performing well. They're second in their league. Their form line looks decent. So it's going to be a really close game. But I'm going to back Olympiacos to win this game because this team is really, really good team. They beat Arsenal last season. So I do think this team will be eager to go a little bit more forward this season. So I'm going to go for Olympiacos 3, PSV 1. Slavia versus Leicester City. This is going to be a really great game to watch. And I am actually really looking forward to this game because Slavia is also one of those teams who are unbeaten in their league this season. So they are coming off some really interesting form line. And I think no matter what, Leicester City should respect this team if you look at their record. On the other hand, for Leicester City, to be honest, they've been performing well this season, but then we all know that this team can be sloppy against lower ranked team, so it can be a concerned situation coming into this game. But I think Leicester City do have a little bit more quality. They've been performing well this season, and I think they should go deep in Europa League this season. So I'm going to go for Leicester City 2, Slavia 1, but once again, it's going to be a close game. Young Boys versus Leverkusen. If you asked me about this game a month earlier, I'd say Young Boys have no chance because Leverkusen were really, really performing well at that time. But then if you look at this team now, they have dropped a lot of points. And if you look at the last 5 games, they only won once and lost 3 times. So it is kind of a concerning situation. And for Young Boys, they will be looking at this and laughing. For Young Boys, they've been performing well this season. In the last 9 games, they're unbeaten. So coming into this fixture, they'll be telling themselves, we can win this game. Bayer Leverkusen, they do have a lot of quality. So maybe at the end of the day, the quality will be a little bit too much. But I think I'm going to back Young Boys to win this game because this season, they've been performing well. And this team deserves a lot of respect because, once again, they are one of those teams who are really, really performing well in their league. They only lost 1 game. So I'm going to go for Young Boys to win this leg. I'm going to go for Young Boys 2, Leverkusen 0. FK Cervena versus Milan. I do think this is going to be a really interesting game. FK Cervena, they've been performing really well. They're unbeaten in their league. So this is some really, really big statement because they are performing really well in their league. They're unbeaten. So I think AC Milan should not underestimate this team. On the other hand, for AC Milan, I think they've been performing well. But then if you look at the last 5 games, they lost 3 times. And it is kind of a concerning situation. Even though they are second in Serie A, but still, they're dropping a lot of points and coming against a team like FK Cervena because they've been performing well at home. And this team have nothing to lose. It can be really, really scary for Milan because, as I said, if a team have nothing to lose, they're going to be really, really scary. So FK Cervena, they are going to be play at home, and I'm going to actually back them to win this game. It's a big statement, but I think they can win this game. I'm going to go for FK Cervena 2, Milan 0. But once again, Milan can easily win this game. But if Milan do something silly at the back and give them chances, or if Milan are not at their best against them, they can easily win this game. As I said, they have a really, really strong home record, and they also have a really, really strong record in their league this season. Dynamo Kyiv versus Club Brugge is the next game I'm going to talk about. I do think this is a very I'm not gonna say many people are gonna watch this game, but I think this is gonna be a really interesting game because both of these teams are not those big clubs, so therefore many people won't really care about this. But I think it is gonna be important for both of these teams because they have a easy fixture compared to many other teams. So for Dynamo Kyiv, they were in Champions League, but then they were in a tough group. But I still think getting a third spot in that group is a good thing. But I don't know what happened to this league because if I look at their fixture, they didn't really play much matches after December. I'm not sure what actually happened, but if you know, please let me know. So therefore, I'm actually just concerned about their form line because maybe they don't have enough match fitness to play against Club Brugge because Club Brugge has been performing really well in the last 9 games. They have won all of them. So I do think Club Brugge scoreline, form line do look very scary. And once again, I don't know what happened to Dynamo Kyiv because their fixture were disappeared for like 2 months. So I'm just concerned about that. I think the players will be fresh, but I think there will be lack of match fitness. So therefore, I'm going to back Club Brugge to win this game. I'm going to go for Club Brugge 3, Dynamo Kyiv 1. The first game I'm going to talk about is Braga versus Roma. I do think this is going to be a great game to watch because Braga this season, they've been performing well. And if you look at this team for the past 2-3 seasons, this team is developing really, really well. And I think they are close to getting top 3 in Portugal League, and I think maybe in the coming season they can actually challenge for Champions League spot as well because this season this team has been performing well. And even if you look at back like 2 years back or 3 years back, this team is really, really developing. So I do think they can become one of the Portuguese giant in the future. On the other hand, for Roma, I do think they do have a lot of quality. They do play some brilliant football, but then sometimes we all know that they can be sloppy and then give away chances to opposition and they will end up losing the game. So I'm just concerned about this. So therefore, I'm going to back Braga to win this leg. Maybe going into Italy leg, maybe Roma will run away. But for this leg, I'm going to back Braga to win this game. I'm going to go for Braga 1, Roma 0. Krasnodar versus Dinamo Zagreb is the next game I'm going to talk about. This is going to be a close game, and this is just similar to the other game I just talked about. Both of these teams are not big clubs and they have some easy fixture. So therefore, I think they're going to make really, really good use of it. For Krasnodar, I don't think they've been performing well recently, even though their form in the last 6 game looks convincing because they only lost one of the game. And other than that, they won 3 times and drew once. On the other hand, for Dinamo Zagreb, this season, they've been performing really well. And I was surprised to see them top their group. And it is really, really surprising. Like, I didn't really expect them to perform that well and also getting first spot in their Europa League group stage. So it is a really, really good achievement. So therefore, because of that, I'm going to back this team to win this game. I'm going to go for Dinamo Zagreb 2, Krasnodar 1. Lille versus Ajax. Lille actually are my underdog team for this season because this team do have some really, really talented players and they have some really, really strong athlete in their team. And this is a team that I really, really like to watch because, as I said, they have so much quality. They have so many athletes. They're full of energy. So I do think this team is a team to watch out. And in their League One, I think they've been performing well. In their last 9 games, they only lost once and they drew once. Rest of the game, they won. On the other hand, for Ajax, we all know that this team is always full of talent. And this team is actually a really, really great team. And we all remember, I think 2 seasons ago, they were Champions League semi-finalists, if I'm not wrong. So I think they will be eager to get this win, and I'm sure they will be eager to go really, really deep in Europa League. But I think against a team Lille, because they've been performing so well this season, I just think they might actually upset Ajax. So I'm gonna go for Lille 3, Ajax 1. Benfica versus Arsenal. This is gonna be another brilliant game to watch. Benfica this season, I'm not gonna say they've been performing well because they've been really sloppy, and then they've been losing too many points this season. So I think it's kind of a concern situation. And even if you look at Portuguese league, they're fourth at the moment. And I remember like past 2 seasons they were actually first or second, but then this season they did drop a lot of points. So you can say this team is a little bit lack of quality, but then they do have some really good players. On the other hand, for Arsenal, we all know that this team can be a really great team on the day, and then on the bad day they can be a really terrible team. But then to be honest, recently this team did pick up a lot. Yes, they did lose to Wolves and Aston Villa, but then still I do think this team have a lot of quality. And in Europa League this season, I think they're the only team to win all of the games. So it is some kind of a really, I should say, like some really big form line or some really strong form line. So no matter what, I think Arsenal will be a little bit too good for Benfica. Benfica will be at their best. They'll try to do something. They'll try to park the bus and get a draw or maybe get win out of this game. But at the end of the day, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to go for Arsenal 2, Benfica 0. So the next game is Molde versus Hoffenheim. I think this is going to be an interesting game. Molde, they finished their league few days ago, I think few weeks ago. And I think they will be eager to bounce back over here and perform well. On the other hand, for Hoffenheim, we all know that this team is a really decent team. They like to get some big results against big teams, as we all know that they did beat Bayern Munich this season and then they drew against Dortmund. So I do think Hoffenheim are coming off some decent form line. But I have a feeling that Molde might come up with something because these are very tricky teams, and we all know that at Hoffenheim they are not a really trustworthy side. So therefore, I'm actually gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for Molde 1, Hoffenheim 1. Tel Aviv versus Shakhtar. This is gonna be an interesting game. Tel Aviv, in the last 9 games, they're unbeaten. They won 8 of their last 9 games, and one of the game was a draw. On the other hand, for Shakhtar, they've been performing well this season. They beat Real Madrid this season, so I'm pretty sure they will be eager to do something in Europa League. So for this leg, I don't care what happens, but I just want them to qualify at the end of the second leg because they are a brilliant team and they deserve to go further. I don't care if they lose or win this leg, as I said, but then they have to do something the second leg because they're going to be playing at home. So therefore, I think it's going to be a tight game. Tel Aviv will be at their best. They'll try to do something, but I think Shakhtar will be eager to get a win, and I think they can get a win. I think it's going to be difficult. Tel Aviv will make their life difficult, but I'm pretty sure Shakhtar will be eager to get this win, and I'm sure they will want to go the round of 16 or at least quarterfinal because they are a decent team. They've been performing well in Europa League for the past few seasons, so I do think they will be eager to do something over here as well. So I'm going to go for Shakhtar 2, Tel Aviv 1. Antwerp versus Rangers. This is going to be a really decent game to watch. Antwerp, they've been performing well this season. On the other hand, for Rangers, they've been in exceptional form this season. They're literally winning everything in their Premier League, in Scottish Premier League. On the other hand, even Europa League, they won everything. The only defeat came this season was in the cup game. So I'm pretty sure they will be eager to extend their unbeaten run, and I think they can do it over here. It's going to be tough. Antwerp will be at their best. They'll try to do something, but I think at the end of the day, Rangers might just have an edge, and I think Rangers will win this game with a scoreline of 2-0. Granada versus Napoli. This is going to be a really great game to watch. Granada, I'm not going to say they are performing that bad because if you look at the fixture were pretty tough. And once again, the Spanish team, they love Europa League. So it's going to be really interesting to watch this team perform against Napoli. On the other hand, for Napoli, they did perform well this season. They are 5th in their league and they did beat Juventus this weekend. So I think they are coming off some strong form line and I think they will be confident. It's going to be a close game and I do actually like Granada, but I think it's going to be difficult because I think Napoli is actually one of the favorite to win this league. So therefore, I'm going to go for Napoli 1, Granada 1. Salzburg versus Villarreal. I do think this is going to be a great game to watch because both of these teams are coming off some really different league. Salzburg, we all know that they have a lot of talent and they're really performing well in their Austria league. On the other hand, for Villarreal, I'm not going to say they are having the best time in La Liga, but still this team do have a lot of quality. So it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to back Villarreal because they do have a lot of quality and I think Villarreal might just win this leg as well and also the home leg. So therefore, I'm going to go for Villarreal 2, Salzburg 1. So guys, that's the end for Europa League Round of 32 Peruvian prediction video. It was a really long video, and I'm actually exhausted because I've been speaking for the past like 1 hour, I can say. So yeah, that's the end for this video. If you guys did enjoy my video, please give a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.